everyone's sitting comfortably. Okay. Oh, come on. Here we go. Yes, there we go. This is me, Phil Payne, Executive Officer of Study Perth. What I'd like to talk to you about over the next half an hour or so is why international students should be considering Perth as a study destination. And we like to talk about the value proposition, what Perth can bring to you. So we talk less about lifestyle and kind of touristy kind of aspects and more about student outcomes. So we talk about 5 E's, being employment, so the ability to get good work while you're studying; employability, the ability to get a job in your chosen career once you finish studying; enterprise, for all the many international students who actually want to run their own business, and over 90% of international students tell us that ultimately they would like to run their own business. Great opportunities for that in Perth, Western Australia. Engagement, that's about the supportive nature of our community within Western Australia, how friendly and welcoming we are here. And then last, experience. That's about lifestyle, about cost of living, about the ease of studying and living in Western Australia. Now, we've added a couple of extra points recently since COVID, which are quite significant, I think, to international students. The first one being economy. So the economy for Western Australia is the strongest in the country. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. And that's obviously important for students who are looking to improve their prospects during and after they study. And then finally, migration. There are wonderful migration opportunities for students after they study. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a while. Okay, a little bit of evidence to support those claims I've just made. So employment, WA wages are generally higher than the average across the country, 8% above the national average. The jobs that were lost during lockdown and COVID, they've pretty much all come back, and some. So 40,000 vacancies in Perth, 45% higher than this time February last year. So if you want to work during your studies, or you need to work during your studies, it's really pretty easy to get a job, and a good choice of jobs to support you, and also to improve your English and to engage with the community. So that's a great opportunity here in Western Australia. Employability, there's a very strong emphasis in all the institutions in Western Australia for work readiness, to ensure that when you finish your study, you're ready to go into a career of your choice. And Study Perth, in addition to what the universities and colleges and schools offer, we provide a lot of employment and employability support and training to make sure that students are best placed to progress in their careers. Here's a quick video about an initiative called Jobs Connect, which I think will be self-explanatory.
Today we held our first International Students Job Connect Day, and it was so successful. We brought together prospective tourism employees in the hospitality tourism sector with international students, and they came together in a networking tabletop session to talk about jobs that are available right now in the tourism industry.
A lot of international students may have lost their employment due to COVID, so today was more about responding to the acute employment needs of international students in Western Australia. There are still over 24,000 international students here, and they're ready, willing and able to take on employment opportunities within Western Australia.
Working in Perth, people are friendly, they support you a lot, even if you're an international student. In my work, I found an amazing culture and very supportive people.
Yeah, I think it's great that we get the opportunity to meet face to face with the managers or executive directors of the company. A lot of the times it's very digital, because we do everything online.
I got to meet different students, international students, talk to them about their experiences. Also got to meet different employers, and yeah, I had fun.
Met a lot of really inspirational young people that have had a tough year, like the rest of us, that just want to keep learning, they want to keep developing, and we'd love to have a lot of them hopefully engage with us going forward.
Because I'm doing physiotherapy, so the hospitality industry is very different from the physiotherapy industry. But like there's one thing in common, is customer service. Like if you don't keep the customers happy, then like no one's gonna show up to your business. So that's definitely one thing that I would love to learn, because people is what makes the business.
An opportunity to connect with international students that have the experience of perhaps working internationally, and bringing that to our buildings.
All the employers, just like they don't make it sound like very formal. It's very like a chill, relaxed chat, and which I think that's what most people talk about. So I really enjoy that.
I think today was a great success, and it's really heartwarming to see this is just the start of something bigger. So our job board's available for all international students in Western Australia and for all employers as well. So it's free for both to use. And this event really was just the start of something much bigger, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
So that was an example of us working closely with the state government to try and put together employers and international students, and it's an ongoing initiative, Jobs Connect, and we're looking to expand it even further throughout this year. That was an instant success and created a lot of interest within Western Australia and wider. Okay, next of the E's is enterprise. So I think people quite often don't realise that Western Australia and Perth is a very innovative, entrepreneurial kind of city. A third of Australia's ASX listed companies have their headquarters in Western Australia. 6 of the world's top energy companies are based here. And so innovation and invention is actually driven by our very prominent mining industry, by medical research, and we have a very large number of active startups. It's a recognised centre for entrepreneurship and innovation, a great place if you have the aspiration to start your own business. And then next is engagement and experience. So we're an extremely diverse community within Western Australia. The Philippines community is very active, very supportive, but it's one of many different nationalities that are well represented within Western Australia in Perth. And so we reckon that cultural diversity makes for a very welcoming and friendly community. And on experience, these are the lifestyle factors. It's a very safe city. It's very vibrant, very sociable, and it's an easy place to live. And the student ambassadors will talk about that a little more in terms of, it's just extremely pleasant place to live. The climate's beautiful, got a wonderful natural environment in and around Perth, but also more widely and with the biggest state in the country, and there's some wonderful places to visit and explore throughout the state, and the quality of life is absolutely excellent, and it's very affordable compared with some of the bigger cities over east. It's very affordable, which is obviously very important to international students. This video, we think, encapsulates a lot of what Western Australia has to offer. Okay, next, economy. As I said, these are the extra kind of parts of the value proposition that we've added since COVID. We've got the strongest projected economic growth in Australia, and we've been called the strongest economy in the world because we've managed COVID so effectively. And so our economy is regarded as being robust because it's weathered crises and the pandemic, which means it's a great place for students to come if they have aspirations of making something either as a career, or with their career, or in private enterprise. And migration, again, I'll talk about this a bit later. I've called it a new migration designation. It's a couple of years old now, since we're designated as a regional city. There are obviously post-study work rights, additional post-study work rights, and additional migration points, which are obviously of great interest to many students. Just sharing a few pictures because I love them. These are pictures that were generated as part of a competition we had for international students. We encouraged international students to go out and about across our beautiful state and record their adventures. And these are some of the prize winners. It just shows you the kind of variety of different kind of landscapes we have in the state, and the kind of things that would await you when you come to Western Australia. And a few more pictures there, all taken by current international students. Okay, what else we can offer in terms of student support? We are the only state or territory to offer an online employability platform. We call it Prosper. It provides services to support students in their career development, to establish a pattern of knowledge gathering, to create an employment profile, and it has practical services on the platform that connect students, with employers, with other stakeholders. And it's all there at the touch of at your fingertips, on your phone or on your desktop. So this is something that's constantly evolving, and many students are finding it a very useful service when they're in Perth, but also before they arrive. One of the services that we're about to launch is My Legal Mate. And again, we think this is a first. We're the only state or territory to offer this comprehensively. So an online triage service, so students can contact our specialists with a legal problem or a legal issue, and they'll be directed to information online or referred to a lawyer whom they can see for free in our student hub. So the issues that we cover at the moment are housing and tenancy, private disputes and sexual assault, employment and workplace rights, education provider disputes, and motor vehicle issues. So the kind of questions that students might have, we can address those online, but also with a clinic that we're offering through our student hub. Talking about the Student Hub, this is a wonderful asset that we have here in Perth, Western Australia. Within the city centre, we have a space for students to meet and connect with employers, with entrepreneurs, with community groups, with cultural groups, and also to be connected to support services and advice, and very importantly to meet other students. At this time when, through COVID, it's very important that students have an opportunity and a base to meet with other students. So we run workshops, we run networking events, and we provide also support and advice to employers about engaging with international students. So a few examples of what's been going on recently. So, and a real range of different kind of events, from social events to employability events to support events, etc. An entrepreneurship festival was run earlier this year, and wellbeing programs. So a variety of different kind of events and activities and services that we offer international students through this hub. That's been an instant success. It's been open for just over a year now. We also offer a buddy program where you have students, before they start in Western Australia, have an opportunity to meet online with a suitable buddy and to learn more about what it's like to live and study in Western Australia. The buddies at our end are our greeters, who are international students at the Student Hub, but also our international student ambassadors, and you're going to meet a couple of those in a moment. And these are our 2021 International Student Ambassadors. I'll show you a picture now. That's the group. Every year we appoint around a dozen or so international student ambassadors from a very large list of applicants. So these are the best of the best. These are students who we work with to advise international students about the benefits of living and studying in Western Australia, but also work with international students here in Western Australia as kind of role models and mentors. And we've been absolutely delighted with all the ambassadors who've gone through the program. We think this year is a particularly special group, and I've got a couple of them, both from the Philippines, to talk to you now. Hold on one second. Okay, I've got Anjali first. Do you want to come on there?
Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's a pleasure to be here. Shoots.
Off you go.
All right, okay. All right, so I'm
For some reason, your image keeps clicking in and out. She's a real person, by the way, not a hologram. But
okay, so
that's
there
good.
you go. Okay, I hope you can see me. So there's a lot of reasons why I chose to study in Perth. One mainly is the people. The people are just friendly and welcoming. So if you just put yourself out there, people are gonna, approach you and talk to you. And with that, you can build your network. You can enlarge you can get to meet new people and just get to know like the city and how it works. And again, before I came here, sorry, before I came here, I didn't realize that Perth was this multicultural like city. And then when I got here, it's like amazing because you get to know different people from different backgrounds and you get to learn new things every day. Second is the opportunity. So there are so many opportunities here in Perth. You just need to put yourself out there, and it just like the offers are astounding, and you get practical experiences, which is very important for us international students because we want to know or how to apply what we learn in the real world. And lastly is the community, that because socializing or networking doesn't only stop within your campus. So when you go outside, you'll be amazed at how many international events, or for international students, or even for everyone here in Perth. So like, yeah, that's some of the reasons why I love being here in Perth and studying. So thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Now, Angelou, we have two angels today.
Hello.
So, Angelou, do you want to tell us about
Hi,
that?
everyone. Can you hear me? Yes. I can see her. Hello. First of all, thank you. This is such an amazing opportunity to be representing our country, the Philippines. My name is Angelou. I would say hello, how are you? Or shall I say kamusta? It's applied to all languages in the Philippines. So why did I choose to study in Perth? There's so many reasons why. First, they offer world-class education. There are so many, Perth, Western Australia offers world-class universities, vocational institutions, a wide variety of schools to choose from that offers quality assured education. What else? What do I think about living and studying in Perth?
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about living in Perth?
Living in Perth for a year now, I would say the quality of life, as what Phil said. He's basically explained everything.
Didn't leave you
the
much.
value proposition, I think health, first of all, how Western Australia put action in COVID. If you compare to other states, we're doing really well with education. As I've said, they offer world-class universities. Your qualifications gained in Western Australia is recognized around the globe. Economy has the strongest in the world. Natural and living environment in Australia. I think this is the cleanest city I've ever been. I've traveled to so many places, and I think Western Australia offers very nice nature attractions. If we talk about outdoors, you'd like to go on camping, hiking, fishing, boating, surfing. There's so much to do, especially if you like going outdoors and see out there. Yeah. And people are very nice too, and amazing food and culture. Yeah, I'm good.
That's great. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, and also
Anjali, do you want to come back on?
Yeah, I want to add, if you saw the video, right? Jobs Connect. So I actually went to that event and I got my job through Study Perth. So if you feel like you're scared you won't find a job during COVID and all that, I think you're in good hands if you come here in Perth, because I got mine. It was just like right after the first wave of the pandemic. And I feel so grateful because there's really a community that helps you out just to settle down here. So yeah, and I'm still doing my work right now with tourism. Oh, and by the way, so before there's like a limit to how many hours you can work, but when you work in tourism or in aged care, you can work unlimited hours. So that would really help.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, I'm going to shift you off there a little bit. Yes, okay. But they're not going for good, so there'll be an opportunity to ask both of them questions at the end. So a little bit about Western Australia's skilled migration program. I'll just give an overview because we'll be able to share all the details on this presentation with you afterwards through IDP. The most important thing really is that we are in Perth. We're a category 2 as our migration status, so cities and major regional centres. That includes Perth. So you get an extra year beyond what you get in Sydney, Melbourne or Brisbane, an extra year of post-study work rights on a temporary graduate visa. All skilled migration or sponsored skilled migration Australia is reliant on skilled occupation demand lists, as I'm sure everybody knows. And I gather you might have had presentations about that earlier in this session. There used to be one list called the WASMOL, the Western Australian Skilled Migration Occupational List, but there have been recent changes to this, and I'll just outline those very quickly. So in June this year, the WASMOL was expanded, which is great news, from one list from Schedule 1. There's also now Schedule 2, and I'll explain the difference in a moment. That's a very recent change. There are various requirements that you need to satisfy this against each schedule. I won't go through those. They're probably self-explanatory, but you'll get these as part of the presentation. But also Western Australia is one of a few states that also has, in addition to the 2 schedules, a graduate specific skilled occupation list, and that's called the GOAL. And that's the purpose of that is to provide a pathway to provisional and permanent visas for international students. So that's a relatively new development, and it's something that not all states and territories can offer. Again, there are some requirements in terms of residency, full-time study, etc. But again, you'll get those when you receive the presentation in due course. So of most interest, I think, to people is that within Schedule 1, there are 42 different occupations on that list. The new schedule, Schedule 2, has an additional 112 occupations, and then the graduate list has a further 137 different occupations. So these are the occupations that have been deemed to be in demand in our state. So if you're wanting to work in one of those many occupations, the chances are very good that we'd be able to accommodate you. So a good reason to choose Western Australia. So among those, I didn't count the three different groups, but among those many hundred occupations are accountant, automotive electrician, a chef, developer or programmer, early childhood teachers. We need electrical engineers, ICT specialists, social workers, software engineers, and web developers. So those are all very popular occupations that are on one or other of those lists. You can find out more about all those details and those requirements that I mentioned by visiting the Western Australian Migration website, and I've got the URL there. A little bit of a kind of summary about Western Australia and its migration. We like to say that we're ready, willing, and able because we have capacity and appetite to grow the number of international students within our state. So we say we're ready because we're a serious first-tier city. You know, we've got regional status, but we're a serious first-tier city. We offer a very comprehensive range of high-quality institutions, from English language colleges, vocational colleges, private and public, and universities. We like to think of ourselves as the friendliest city in Australia, and our 2 ambassadors, I think, would agree. So we're very diverse, and we've always offered a warm welcome. And we also have capacity. You know, we have space within the state and within our institutions to welcome more international students. We're also able, so the regional designation means we can offer additional attractions to international students. So actually the post-study work rights and extra migration points. So opportunities for students to prosper after they complete their studies. So in summary, we've always been amazing in Perth. The regional designation is not the only or the best reason to choose Perth. There are many reasons, but the new settings are an additional reason that we encourage students to consider Perth, because they're new attractions and opportunities. So we're not, in that sense, we're not really regional. We're regional for migration purposes, but we're a serious place, serious study destination worthy of your consideration. So find out more today by going to our website, studyperth.com.au.